Okay, children, apart from the contour lines, I've already explained to you how the height is also shown with the help of other features, which is called a spot height here, which has got a dot next to it. It can also be shown with the help of a little triangle, and then it is called a triangulated height. The difference between spot height and triangulated height is that this measurement of height is done with the help of trigonometrical calculations. You're not asked in the board, it's just for your information that I'm telling you. In this case, it is more of a guesswork, I could say, in a way, that there are two places and from there they guess the height and then accordingly they write the height here. Accuracy level, therefore, for a spot height is not very accurate. We cannot call this to be exactly 381. Then it may, if you reach there and you use your very modern techniques to measure the height, it may actually turn out to be a little more or less than what they have written over here. So the accuracy level of spot height is questionable, children. This is done with the trigonometry. This is better. But the most accurate height, and which you have only two in your map, are shown with the two alphabets capital BM, which means benchmark. And as you will see that they have, let me get it focused properly. The number 225.3, and in the second one benchmark 224.6. That means you have a decimal, whereas all these are in meters only. In this case, some centimeter, that means this is 225 meters and 30 centimeters. This is 224 meters and 60 centimeters. And these benchmarks are of buildings. As you can see, there's a railway station, RS is written over here. And there is a railway track over here. So they have taken two of the features, man-made features, whose heights have been calculated. In this, children, all the equipments which are there, which we call as surveying equipments, are used, and then the height is measured. So the accuracy of this is the highest, and we only have two such examples in your map, in the case where you have the Chitrasani railway station. Now, children, all the heights that I have explained to you up till now have been taken from sea level, but at times we need the height of a particular feature from the surrounding area. Like you have your building and the ground at which we are standing next to the building, from there I need to know the height of the building is 2 meters, 10 meters or 20 meters. Same way in your map also. And to explain that type of height, we use a small alphabet R. So you can see 10R, 12R and all written over here. And this is called relative height. Over here you can see 8R written. Then it's next to the river, we will call it relative depth. Depending on the feature which is next to it. If it is next to the river, of course, if I'm standing, it is below me, so it will be called relative depth. These are brown dots which are sand dunes. So when we see 13R on a sand dune, when you are standing there, sand dune will be mound of sand which is higher. It will be relative height. Now, children, in relative height and depth, there is one particular feature which is a well, where you can see the blue dot of the well, and as you see next to it, it is written 25R in blue color. Whereas as you see next to this river, this seasonal river, it's written 6R in black color. Everywhere else, the R and the number is in black color. In one exception, that is for the well, it is in blue color. So whenever you see in blue color the number and the R written, it will always be for a well next to it, an aligned well. And this will be explained as the relative depth of the lined well, which is 25 meters. The number is the meters of depth. And the purpose being that I need to know how deep the well is, because when I'm going to bring the water out, I'll need a rope or some method to put the bucket inside the well. And if I don't know how deep the water is, then I don't know how long the rope I require. Similarly, you can see 21R here also, which is a blue dot, and this is written in blue color. Now, for tanks. In this case, as you see, this is a seasonal tank, and as you can see, these tiny little black lines which are marked outside, they show the embankment. And then they're written 3R in black color for this tank with the embankment. So whenever you have the embankment, now embankment means that this tank, the depression which is filled with water, around it they have made a wall. And the wall will obviously be above the level of the ground. So when I explain this 3R, I will say it is the relative height of the embankment. Okay, not the tank, but relative height of the embankment on the dry tank, which is 3 meters. In this way, it is going to be explained in that case. Okay, children, so I hope some more R's are clear to you all. And in this manner, if you see over here, you have the 7R written next to the river, and it will be the relative depth of the river is 7 meters. The number is the depth, R is telling you it is relative height or depth, and the feature you have to identify next to it. See here again, it is written next to the brown dots, which is a sand dune. It's a smaller sand dune, so we are going to say it is the relative height of the sand dune, which is 5 meters. Okay. Okay, children, this is another example of a 5R written, but as you can see, this black line is of a seasonal stream, but surrounding the seasonal stream, these little tiny little black curves that you see is broken ground. Now, when the 5R is written over here, it is not next to the stream, but next to the broken ground, and broken ground is the land which has been cut up by erosion. So, it is a groove or a depression that has been cut over here. And this 5R, if you are asked to explain, will be explained as the relative depth of the broken ground. Okay, relative depth of the broken ground is 5 meters. So children, as you can see in this part that I am showing you again, we have a lot of these little black little rounded shapes which are dry tanks. This is a natural dry tank, this is a natural dry tank, natural and natural and natural. But in this one, as you can see, these little black lines have been made outside the tank, which becomes the embankment. So this, as I told you earlier also, 3R will be said relative height of the embankment on the dry tank is 3 meters. But if you see in this tank, they've written 2R here, but there is no embankment. So this is just a depression which gets filled with water. And in this case, your answer is going to be relative depth of the dry tank is 2 meters. Same way here. There is no embankment here, and therefore the 2R will be relative depth of the dry tank is 2 meters. And as you can see, they have not written it in every one. Somewhere here or there, in a few scattered ones, you will find that they have mentioned it, and in every other feature or every other symbol, you will not find it is written. And so this is the relative height and relative depth that you have to understand. And just repeat this one again. This is the river, dry river. So you will say 4R is the relative depth of the dry river, which is 4 meters. If it is written next to a stream, then it will be called relative depth of a stream. For example, over here, see this black line and this black line, they are single. It's a stream. So at this point, the 3R is telling us the relative depth of the stream is 3 meters. That means if you're thinking of crossing it when there is water in the stream, 3 meters is the depth here, and you may drown, because on an average a man is not more than 2 meters in height, and so 2 meters is about 6 feet. So if a person is 6 feet tall and is trying to walk through the stream, at the time it is filled with water, that person is, poor thing, is going to drown. So this height helps people know what is the depth of the river or the stream at certain points. One more method of showing heights in your map is by form lines. Now these are contour lines but show only approximate height above sea level, as they are used to indicate elevations of the area which are not accessible for proper survey. Hence they are drawn as broken lines and are called form lines. So when we have drawn the contour lines, they were all continuous brown lines, children, and they were not broken. But when we see these kind of broken lines in brown color in our map, they are going to indicate form lines. I'll just show them to you. So as you can see over here, in the white colored portion, you can see the continuous brown lines, and then inside over here, you see one small circular shape, another one here, another one here, and here. And in this manner, you will see quite a few of them. And if you open the entire map and you look around, you will find at many places these broken lines are made. These lines are called form lines. So these continuous lines being the contour lines, these broken brown lines are form lines. They give you the idea of the shape, but this is not giving you the exact height. Whereas when you see the contour lines in continuous line, you have 400. That means before that, on the higher side, it will be 420 and 440. On the lower side, 380, 360, 340, 320. Then this one, this darker line will be 300. See over here, certain. And then before 300, it will be again less than 20 meters less than 300, it is 280, then 260 and 240. In this manner, these lines have been shown, and this one is 240, and as you can see, the one before that, which is going out further, is 220. So your contour interval and form lines. I wanted to make you all understand these two terms and concepts also.